Welcome to another episode of our Founders Podcast. I'm your host, Ash, and this is a show where I interview proven founders and industry experts who share their stories, strategies, and insights to help you build, launch, and grow your business. In this episode, I talk to Joel, the founder of Rockstar. Today, we have a truly inspiring person today on our show. And why I'm saying that, because Joel, the he is the visionary founder of Rockstar. His journey is deeply personal and profoundly impactful, stemming from his own experiences with neurodiversity. Diagnosed with autism at the age of 9, Joel faced many challenges growing up, from being the kid in the playground who was often ignored to navigating the complexities of college and workplace. These experiences ignited a passion within Joel to change how neurodiversity is perceived and embraced in both society as well as professional environment. His creativity and determination led to the birth of Rockstar X, a pioneering company dedicated to enabling uniquely talented individuals. So I hope you enjoy the show. Joel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashley. Well, it's happy to be here after my long walk today.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Do you have a favorite quote, something that inspires or motivates you would like to share with our listeners?
So I have multiple, but the one I do, you'll see it posted a lot on my posts on social media is often from Temple Grandin, Dr. Temple Grandin's "Different, Not Less."
Okay, great. How do you elaborate it if you had to explain it to a 5 years old?
We're all different, but that doesn't necessarily mean if some of us are maybe further along our journey than others, but that doesn't necessarily mean or more successful. That doesn't necessarily mean um, we are nothing or less than them.
Yeah, so basically, every one of us has a different trajectory of
Yeah,
our journeys. Some start early, some start late, but eventually, we all have our own story.
yeah.
That's great. Totally relatable. So, tell us about Rockstar X. What does the product do? Who is it for? And what's the main problem you're helping to solve?
Well, it's mainly it's well, it's not a product per se. This is the company. The product
Hmm.
itself, I can't really go into much detail. All I can say is that it will be its sole purpose will be to give non-verbals a voice and also allow people to remote work, but obviously bring the fun environment back to the for the first time into the office, as well as giving companies their encouraging them to be customer facing, and of course neurodivergent accepting.
Mm. Interesting, interesting. So, is it fair to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it fair to say that Rockstar X is basically sort of like a bridge between the talented pool in the neurodivergent space and the organizations who are looking for talent?
Well, that is one arm of it. The other arm is obviously we want to bring a more harmonious society together as well. Now we've seen the this particular version of the metaverse. We saw a very early one back in the 80s when whichever console was first out the door. Um,
Hmm.
and now we're seeing a whole new dimension of the metaverse, which, if you're on the spectrum, will give you more confidence because it will eliminate the need to be in a crowded room with every single noise imaginable under the sun, which could um, end up being quite stressful, and the person might not be able to cope. So having an online community and workspace and the option to online play as well, um, eliminates the need to, and then you build your confidence, and then obviously you can then go into these environments. But before you do, we don't advocate. This is not a substitute for the real world. This is as well. This is a stepping stone to get into
It's a
being able
part of
to.
work.
Yes,
It's a part of work. Interesting, interesting. So Joel, I want to know more about you as in person. I want to hear more about your roots, and share. I want to share this story. But before we move to that, what I would like to talk about is where the story began. Where did the idea for Rockstar X came from?
a very unfortunate ending to my my previous job actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't advocate working for your family. Number one, it rarely works. Um, so I was working for my cousin when I was let go because I thought differently. I was non-linear. I would literally do things my own, how I process things better, how I do, and then I would let go. But the way I was let go was quite sad because they actually had someone doing my work when I was still there, and then they just phased me out. Um, in the over in the US offices, which is wasn't fun. But then COVID came along, all the joys of that, and I thought at that point my grandma had just passed away, so I was receiving counselling, and then I mentioned to my counsellor I want to help others and fix what is wrong with corporate work, because I came from the education background, so I never saw the corporate animal for what it was until I was in it.
Mm.
So once I was in it, then I wanted to make a company which would fix that because no one else would do it.
Right. So were you teaching in US then?
No, I wasn't working in the US. I was in the UK office, but the person they got replacing me was in the US office
Mm.
at the same time as I was there.
Right. Okay.
So they were doing
And
my work.
and when you say you were teaching, what sort of things you were teaching? Is it
I
online?
I was teaching by the pandemic came along. I was teaching before that in my cousin's company. I was actually just social media marketing team,
Mm.
um, and then I was teaching private lessons, drums and guitar to neurodiverse people of all ages, from the young ages of my youngest student is now 9, um, to the oldest one, which is pushing on 67. So
Wow. Interesting.
yeah, I mean it's quite remarkable, and they've all come from not knowing anything or very little to being able to play several songs, several songs will be a bit off time, but some that yeah, I mean they've
Mm.
got the basics there.
You upgraded them from zero to
Yeah,
somewhere.
I take someone from zero to professional, and if they want to go beyond that, I will then do grades with them. But I'm
So
not a fan of grades because obviously grades are nice to have, personal pride, but let's face it, anything on a piece of paper is utterly useless if you can't do it right.
mm, exactly, exactly. And when you so I'm still struggling to understand what Rockstar X exactly does. So okay, I am a person with I'm a special person. I reach out to Joel.
Mhm.
Um, I'm looking for a job. How does Joel helps me or Rockstars help me?
Well, we haven't tapped into the recruiting bit, mind. We haven't tapped into recruiting. We're not. We haven't tapped into recruiting. We're not a recruiting company, but we
Okay.
do work with. So we do work with several organisations, namely the National Autistic Society over here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we are at the moment in talks with most of the creative industry, gaming industry, film, television, and music to actually because that's where you would find people and technology. That's where you would find people on the spectrum. You would.
So are you saying that you're not you'll not be able to help me with the job, but what you will be, or what
I
rock?
what we will be doing is we'll be working with the companies which currently let I mean between you and me, let's face it,
Mm,
the bars are too high. And even when you've gone to university and got the degree, there is no guarantee you'll get the job anyway.
mm,
Um, so where do you go from there? So what we want to do is we want to bring that down to the acronym KISS, which stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid.
simple. Yep.
Um, More realistic goals and get them into the door, or to follow their own passions and go out on their own. Which is not the worst thing you could do, actually. Uh,
So okay. So you will help me getting upgraded with my skill set
yeah,
required
we
in.
we work we don't build the person around the job. We do it differently. We build the job around the person. So, example, if we went to I don't know if we went to Google, if someone wanted to go to Google, we would
Mm,
get their job description. We would then speak to the people at Google. Like you've already thrown this in the bin. You haven't even looked at the resume because most people resumes do end up in the bin if they are on the if they're they say disability or learning difficulties. That's a fact of interviews in the corporate world. Um, so we will take that. We will work with Google. We will say, right, okay, someone wants to work with you. This job is what they want to do. We want to. So, would you mind, in plain simple English, dumbing it down, lowering the bar, working with us so we can help you get this person because this person clearly has the ability you're looking for. You just don't want to interview them for whatever reason, because you don't understand it. But we understand these people, so why don't you work with us, and then we can get them through the door, and then build the role around the person as opposed to the other way around.
right. Okay. So basically you train me up to the level where.
I train you up to the level on your strengths, and I do what no teacher has ever really does with the classroom. Really, what are you? What do you like to do? What is your passion, and what is your what is your, if you like, superpower? What is your speciality?
Mm,
Show me. Don't tell me. Show me what you can do. I
mm.
let my students lead me. I believe that's the way it should be.
Interesting, because I've always came across agencies and companies who what they do is they always ask you to tweak your resume. They always ask you to upgrade to the technology
Yep.
and all these things according to the job role. But this is the first time I'm hearing that you take the candidates and then speak with the companies and then
Yeah.
sort of
And
modify
then yeah, and
the
then
perspective.
work with the companies to effectively work build that role that they've got there. Yes, I appreciate you've got a role there. Very nice. Build it around the client, around your. I used to do video editing as well, and I always used to say to people who had no patience and wanted their video fast, I said, well, you can either have two ways here. You can either have it done right or you can have it done rushed. You can't have it done both because then it will not work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Great stuff. Okay, so let's move on to the next part of the episode then. When you had this epiphany, did you looked into the market? Were there other services like this? What was going on, and what did you found out from your research that encouraged you to move ahead with this idea?
It was very very unusual. It was a combination of me being let go and from my place of work and realizing there's nothing in the corporate world to actually help people like me stay where they are, or indeed move up where they are. So I was playing Grand Theft Auto at this time
It
at
was
home.
very, very famous at some point. Yeah.
Still is. And every single person, or nearly every single person that I came across on that game, that was a gamer, he's got a disability.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly every single person is either neurodivergent on that game, in a wheelchair, just like the game, in their later years as well. I'd say I'm taking someone with a cancer survivor in their 80s.
Mm. Wow.
um, and it got me thinking. These people, we also most companies just ignore their fan base.
Mm.
Once they get too big, something goes. Normally, it's the culture and the identity. Um, and I mean, just listen to them moan and moan and moan, and I was at that point fed up with them as well, with lack of creativity. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, why don't I put my money where my mouth is? Create a company that helps people who are non-linear, who are, for wanting a better word, different or I hate the word special, but there we go. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and be the Google of the neurodiverse world. Not the search engine, obviously, but that's a
Mm.
household name
Do,
for the
wa-
wrong
weren't
reasons.
weren't there any other services in the market when you were thinking about it?
Not as broad, no,
No. Okay.
no.
So you were like,
Mostly charities,
mm,
and well, the National Autistic Society we spoke to 2 years ago at the autism show, um, and they've been around for 60 years, and they're still struggling to change the system.
mm, mm. and and how does it work? Like, is it a product or is it a service?
It's both.
Okay.
It's two pronged. It's a B two B and a B two C. And
Hmm.
you can't put those two together; they will never work. But you can later on down the road merge,
Connect them. Yeah.
have crossovers
Yeah.
within those.
And have you raised any money for this startup, or you're bootstrapped?
We mostly bootstrapped.
Hmm.
Not thrilled about that, but there we go.
Yeah.
uh,
No, that's a very good idea to.
Mostly bootstrapped. And we've got a Patreon page, which we've got now 9 patrons. We earn from that regularly per month. Nothing to be not we're not painting the town gold at the moment.
Yeah.
And we've also now launched our crowdfunding on fundraiser
Hmm.
recently.
Okay.
But
And
most of it's bootstrapped.
okay. And what? So you're saying that it's also a product. So walk me
There is a
through.
product, yes.
Yeah, walk me through the product. Is it a web portal where I can come and register myself, or Is it an app on the phone? How does it look like?
To be fair, it will look like your traditional AAA video game.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We want people to have fun while you're in the office as well, while you're working. So, and also we want to make work your employees as accessible as possible. And I've found out that in the office, your there the creativity is there, but it's not fully there. Whereas if you were, I don't know, take yourself off to the beach or work from anywhere else outside or inside in the UK because it seems to be raining every single day at the moment. Um, but not away from the office, but still within work, still work. So embodying an avatar inside this virtual world, and working on a function on your stuff through your avatar on the computer. Um, you be more productive and more creative as well. Which, let's face it,
So when when
however
when
companies want.
when are you planning to launch it?
Well, that's why we launched the crowdfunding. That is
Hmm.
exactly why we launched crowdfunding, because we need to get a prototype out there to present to investors. But this is the catch 22. This is like a continuation round and round and roundabout because because you need a prototype to pitch to investors to say yes, I want to be investing in this. I love it or I hate it. Um, or and on the flip side, you need the money to actually fund the prototype. So this is where the crowdfunding actually fundraiser came in, to
You,
actually fundraise and actually pay people, pay the lovely coders and designers to actually build at least the prototype. It's gonna be on the Unreal Engine. We're gonna use Unreal Engine because we haven't developed our own engine. That will take years. Unreal, you can bang out a prototype in about a year. Um,
when you said virtual world,
yes,
I got a little intrigued. Um,
I thought you might.
yeah, I'm still struggling to get.
May I? Okay, so with the virtual world, you got intrigued. So I want you and your listeners to imagine for a minute being that kid playing GTA, Sims, or whatever, but
Mhm,
want to do more and have more freedom and creativity, and let's face it, add your
mhm.
own stuff to it. Now, we want to obviously give you a game like that, which you can add your own stuff to it. We also want to make it a workable world. So workable world meaning companies in remote work. So all the empty buildings that you see lined up down San Andreas, yeah, those will be full of those people. We'll be making a world with people in those buildings, offices, businesses, um, and if we like your creation, we create if we like your creation in the game, your own customization, your own flavor, we will then pull you in and say, would you like to work for us, because we this is the creativity we need here.
So
um
it's basically a virtual game where you can create your own avatars or you
it's
can create your.
basically if Red Dead Redemption, GTA, and The Sims, along with the money earning like Roblox, all had a massive orgy and produced a baby world.
Hmm,
This would be that. This is what you would get from that.
interesting.
So the game which you people always thought of in their head, but no company had ever really done. More probably because of budget and more because of servers and graphics. But yeah, we want to include every single platform.
Mm.
not leaving
Sort
any
of,
single platform out.
sort of
So
like a game which is available on
PC, PC,
PS5,
PS5 console itself as well.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, got it. Now I understood it better.
and the cross and a proper cross-platform play. I'm having PC and PC and console crossing. You can play both of them. You
Mm.
don't. Yeah,
Okay, so 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 and I continue want to talk, but we have very limited time. So I
I
want to,
understand.
yeah, I want to ask you, could you tell us more about your fundraising? Why are you fundraising? And then how people can contribute to that?
We're fundraising to bring it to them effectively bring in the art, visual effect, the artists, well, to be two or three at the most because they're expensive. That's they're about 200 grand a year just to code. Um, and we can make this a reality, so we can then present this to investors, get bigger backing, and then make the real. I said, well, it will be a the real thing, but make the polished version
Mm.
with all of you on the journey, which we would love to have every single one of you on our journey.
So is it just like, because there's a portal called Kickstarter. On the Kickstarter you have to
Yeah,
give
Kickstarter needs a
something.
product. Yeah,
Yeah, but
To
because
be on Kickstarter, you need a product
mm,
in the first place.
yes, that's why you raising it on fundraiser.
Yeah, fundraiser spelt fund ray and then missing out the e and at the end, so it's fundraiser
Yeah, got it, got it.
instead of the traditional spelling.
Okay, and just before we move to our lightning round, I want to ask you that what are the challenges, or can you share a moment when you were faced with a tough decision on your business, on your company, that had an immense impact on your startup trajectory? How did you navigate through it?
had to make some had to make some cuts along the way with what we currently pay out for, um, and reinstate them as and when because as you know with a startup with the first 5 years it was all about spending
Mm,
and very few profit. So
yeah,
I had to make some really difficult decisions.
got it. Was it very difficult?
It was because I really did because all the stuff we had we used, so it was really difficult, and but we had to do it.
Mm, got it, got it. Okay, so let's move on to our lightning round then. I've got six quick fire questions for you, and you can answer them as quickly as you can.
I've
You
lost you
ready?
now. 1 second. Where are you? Oh yes. Hold on. I'm on the wrong tab. Oops. Other tab. Right there we go.
Okay, great. So I'll have six questions, so you can answer them as quickly as you can. Okay,
Yes.
right. So what is the one best piece of business advice you have received, either from your elders or some mentor or teacher or somebody?
In Enjoy the journey, as that's the most um important bit of the important bit. It's not the destination.
Mm, yeah, good. What book or which book would you recommend to our audience, and why?
Ironically, I didn't read. I listened to a lot of podcasts, so I recommend looking up and reading first of all Simon Squibb's new book. I haven't read it yet, but
Hmm.
I would strongly recommend anyone who hasn't pre-ordered it do
Yeah.
so. Um, and as for listening to, I would listen to I would recommend listening to Grant Cardone, Dave Meltzer, um, people who have had the journey. The uh, In the case of Dave, lost it all and then rebuilt from
Mm,
zero. Um, and yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do, because then when you're listening to stuff, you can then do other stuff while you're listening. So it's
indeed.
hands free.
Yeah, yeah. What one attribute or characteristic in your mind of a successful founder?
I'd say determination, resilience, and be prepared to literally live with on a shoestring budget,
Mm,
but do not quit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not quitting is very important. Okay. What's your favorite personal productivity tool or habit?
My favorite, well, that's two things. My favorite productivity tool has to be LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
This is where real people are. This is where real people, and obviously some with Discord, but this is where real people tend to hang out over the other social medias, which are not always real. But my favorite hobbies and are of course my music. I'm working on my own album right now. Well, not right now. I'm talking to you. And of course walking my dog, which I would show you, but he's currently asleep.
Not a problem. I totally understand that. What's a new or a crazy business idea you would like to pursue if you had time?
Well, I mentioned at some point in the show, Ash, that we are also looking to build something which will help non-verbals actually speak, and this is really exciting because it's it's a lot less invasive than Neuralink. By that, you don't have to wear, you have to plant your stuff in the brain and worry about being hacked and then you die. Um, you have it will be connected with Bluetooth headphones, and the AI will pick up through the airwaves the non-verbal person's thoughts and then speak it. So effectively, a ventriloquist.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good idea. Hmm. And what's an interesting fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Most people don't know because I don't. I have kept this secret, and I will. And she will never be making an appearance publicly. Is I am now dating someone from Miami, Florida.
Oh, nice. That's interesting. So you'll be traveling to states quite a lot, or she'll be coming to here, or I don't know.
I'll be going there when I've got some money, but she'll be coming here. I think before that happy hour. This is why I've started business, to actually be able to do all the fun things, travel, and of
Mm,
course have the freedom. While I know the business is still generating
indeed, indeed. Well,
stuff.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Joel, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story, unpacking last few years of building this business and some of the ups and downs along the way. If people want to
Mm.
check out Rockstar, what they have to Google and what's the website? If people want to get in touch with
Ah,
you, what's the best way to do it?
if they want to get in touch with me, Ash, um, I think you're connected to me on LinkedIn, aren't you? Um, LinkedIn is my platform. Otherwise, Help Bank Community. Um, and of course, my email address and the website is just a landing page at the moment. I waited 2 years to get the name. Uh,
Mm, RockstarX.
.com. Yes, I waited two
Yeah.
years to get the name, but people can look me up on LinkedIn and on Google as well. Because if they type my name into Google, the first thing they'll see, funnily enough, is LinkedIn.
Mm.
Uh,
So they can search you with your name,
yeah,
Joel.
my name Joel. There's my LinkedIn profile. I believe that's the correct one. And the website, very easy.
It's rockstarx.com,
Dot
isn't it?
com. And yep, currently it's a homepage.
Hmm.
Currently it's a landing page. Sorry, so it's just collecting emails right now. I'm currently saving up for the Divi um, plugin. So
Sure, sure.
and yeah, and of course my email, which you can give out if you want to, or
Yeah, 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 yeah. Great, Joel. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing
you're
your
welcome.
inspiring journey and the impactful work you're doing through RockstarX. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Founders Podcast.
Pleasure to be here, Ash.
Thank you all for tuning into this episode of Founders Podcast. I hope you found our conversation with Joel insightful and inspiring. If you want to get in touch with Joel, make sure you search his name, Joel Felsenstein, on
Very
LinkedIn.
good.
And if you're looking to visit his RockstarX website, then just go on rockstarx.com. If you're a founder or an industry expert interested in sharing your story on our podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out. Simply email me at ash@artcircles.com and let's connect for a potential interview opportunity. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to our podcast and stay updated on future interviews with proven founders and industry experts. We have a lineup of incredible guests and valuable insights coming your way. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep building.